the reigning Miss Universe. Please put your hands together for Miss Universe 2018, Catriona Gray. Hi, Catriona. Great to see you. Now, I know you have been super busy since you've been crowned. I want you to tell some people about the highlights that you've had so far this year.
Oh, it's been such a whirlwind. If you can imagine, I'm originally from the country of the Philippines, so moving to New York, to the hustle and bustle, the high energy, was a huge transition for me. And I've had the pleasure of traveling to Indonesia and also around the States, and I have a few travels coming up, but the most fulfilling part is really working with the different organizations, learning about the work that they do, and also lending my voice where I can to make a difference.
The other day I was watching a video of you on YouTube when you were welcome home to the Philippines after you were crowned. It was like a superhero's welcome. Talk about that experience.
I can't even describe it, guys. Like, you know, seeing support online is one thing, but actually seeing people in the numbers in front of you was just, it took my breath away. And I think for my whole homecoming week, I was crying every single day, just because it was so emotional for me, seeing that I could bring such pride and joy to my countrymen. And it really does make what we title holders do all worth it.
I have to ask about the dress. My wife said, you got to ask about the dress, because when we saw Miss Universe, I said, that's one of the coolest dresses I have ever seen. In particular, let's talk about the lava walk.
Yes.
Just let it fly.
So my walk was named the Lava Walk. I wasn't the one who named it. It was actually my mentor who named it that. But it was in tribute to my mother's hometown in the Philippines called Albay, and it's known for a perfect cone-shaped volcano called Mount Mayon. So me and my designer actually played off that with the gown itself. It was digitally printed, and then they used Swarovski crystals all over it to give that kind of, it was like it was on fire.
It certainly looked like it. Did you guys love the dress? One more question for you. Now this year, or this week I should say, you're adding 2 new sisters to your trio. One tonight, one Thursday night. Advice for the girls backstage. One of them will obviously be one of those sisters. What would you say to them?
You know what, to every single woman that came out on stage tonight, what an amazing experience that you've had the opportunity to have, to work with fellow women who are empowered, who are accomplished, and you have sisters for life. For the new sister that I'm going to be calling sometimes housemate, that she'll come visit in New York. I'm so excited to welcome her to the family, but I know that every single girl here tonight is welcome back into the family to come and visit whenever, and they have sisters for life in every single state of America.
Well, you're doing a phenomenal job as Miss Universe. Can we have a big round of applause for our current Miss Universe 2018, Catriona Gray? Thank you so much. Now, if you want to learn more about Catriona and all of the hottest Miss Universe news, be sure to follow @MissUniverse on all social media channels. I think you know who she is. Please welcome Miss USA 2018, Sarah Rose Summers.
Hello, hello, beautiful Sarah. How are you doing today?
So good. This is so exciting.
Yes, and so we're here in Reno, Tahoe. You've been here more than once. Can you tell me what are some of your favorite things about this very special space?
Well, I know they just mentioned, but I'm from Nebraska, so think Little House on the Prairie. We are the Plains. And then I've moved to Texas, New York, and so I'm not used to this mountainous region, and it is just so beautiful. You open your window in the morning here at the Grand Sierra, and it's just stunning outside. The snowy covered mountaintops, even though it's May, that's my favorite part.
Yes, it is so beautiful here. And tomorrow night, you'll be stepping into my shoes and you'll be hosting prelims. So what can our audience expect from hosting prelims? What do we have going on tomorrow?
We have 51 all absolutely intelligent, ready, worthy women that will be competing in their swim and gowns. And so I wish I could tell you a little inside, but I haven't seen anything yet, so I'm just as excited as you are.
Yes, and you will be there cheering them on while hosting. But if you could give them any really key piece of advice for what to do when it comes to competition, whether it's mental space or just how to really prepare, what would you say?
Each of them are, like I said, worthy and able to fill my shoes, and I'm really excited to see who that'll be. And so before they go on stage, I want them to preach that to themselves. I know you've been a fabulous resource for me all year, and just continue to believe in yourself and be confident in who you are, because you're already here because you were chosen by your states and you deserve to be here. So there's nothing else you can do. You only have about 24 hours, so don't stress yourself out when you're backstage. Take a deep breath and just go for it. Don't think too hard about, I know a lot of girls have been asking me specifically about their walks for tomorrow night, and I always say, you know, if I tried to walk like last year, my Miss Florida, I would have looked hysterical, and vice versa. So own you, there's no specific formula.
Oh, that's so good. Just be you. I love that. And one final question before we wrap up. Yes, that's one to applause for sure. Be you and own it. But my final question for you is, you've been Miss USA for almost a year now. What is your favorite memory, your favorite moment? Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Tell me what's your favorite.
So many things. I'd say my most impactful moment was traveling to Mexico City with Smile Train. As Haley was mentioning earlier, it's just a fabulous organization. And before I won Miss USA, I worked in children's hospitals, as you know. And so being able to see children's health care abroad was really eye-opening to me. And there was one 3-year-old who will forever stay in my heart. Him and his mom were on 16 plus hours of buses just for his clinic visit, not even the surgery, and they were full of gratitude. And here I feel as though if we're on an airplane with a 3-year-old for a few hours and they're restless, everyone's frustrated. But they were grateful. And so that was just absolutely beautiful to see. And oh my goodness, so many other things too. Obviously, I traveled to the other side of the world around the holidays, and I had about 50 to 60 family and friends that traveled to support me in Bangkok, Thailand, representing our great country. And it was just an opportunity that I would have never dreamt of for myself. Being from Nebraska, we'd never made the top 5 before. And so when I made the 15, that was my goal. And then everything else this year has truly just been a cherry on top.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like such an amazing year that you've had, and I'm sure we'll hear more about it as the competitions go on. And you've been an amazing title holder. So thank you so much, and we will see you later.
Thank you for being such a great sister this year.
Thank you.